Live started.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is VV Rao. I am working as Associate Vice President with Encora. I have about 25 plus years of experience building software products, digital platforms, applications, etc. And I have been associated with Encora for the last 6.5 years. And so I have been associated with building, enhancing, and maintaining the digital platforms. That's about me. Now, today's topic is digital platforms and value optimization. So, just before we deep dive into the topic, so the most important thing what we need to understand is the digital platform. What is a digital platform? How does the platform help the organization which is building it and the people who are using it? People need not be end users. There are multiple stakeholders that are associated with digital platforms. So we will start with introduction. First of all, what is the environment today we have? So we have modern businesses that are constantly changing. Year on year, businesses are changing and becoming increasingly agile. Agile means ability to adapt and be lean, right? And the demands from the users are increasing. If you give some software to the people, which sometimes work, which doesn't work, sometimes it is not acceptable to them. And of late, the platform engineering has started playing a transformation role. It is bringing a big time revolution. And all of us are aware of that. Some people are not aware that it is because of the digital platform engineering that is happening. But thing is, it is there and it has arrived. And the businesses are more and more looking towards the software, which is basically scalable, secure, resilient, interactive, and smart. What is meant by scale? Scalability means as the number of users increases, the application has to perform without any glitches. For example, today I have 5,000 users. Maybe after 1 year, I'll be handling 10,000 users. Does the application have the capability to serve the needs of the users? Similarly, some of the platforms that are being used across the world serve millions of customers, millions of users. So scalability is the most important thing the businesses are looking at when they adopt the software as their platform. Next thing is security. How secure is your application? How secure is the software which you are building? Is it susceptible to attacks or hacking? What are the vulnerabilities of the software? This is also another big question. And all the people in IT are facing the question. And then as the time is moving on, the applications are becoming more and more secure. But new threats are also arriving. So we need to make sure that we provide secure software to the people. Next attribute which they are looking at is resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is basically about the application being available in all the circumstances. Okay. For example, in the context of US, we have all our data centers and the data are being stored on the East Coast. Say, for example, the state of Florida. Okay. If there is a cyclone there, if the site is down, if the power is not there, and the users are millions using the software across the globe, then they expect the service has to continue, meaning that there should be another data center which will act as a backup. Say, for example, in the West Coast or in the Mid East of US, and it has to function. How interactive is software? How easy is it? to use the software which you build, and how much can be done by the user himself rather than calling the call center and asking them, putting across a request, and the request will be resolved in 24 hours or 48 hours. This is not what as an average user is looking at. He himself wants to do everything, right? And digital platforms enable communication between supplier and consumers. We will get to know more as we move forward in the discussion. And digital platforms basically offer services which are very easy to consume by the other entities. It could be another application as well, and it could be another person as well. Basically, it is entity. Entity can be anything. So we need to understand two things. What is a product and what is a platform? Product is basically a software, maybe enterprise level big software that caters to the needs of one customer, only one customer. For example, if I build a mobile application and I sell it to a bank, for example, some Axis Bank or HDFC Bank, it caters to the needs of only one bank. And all the users of the bank can use the mobile application and they can make their own transactions. It is a single user, only one Axis Bank. User means one institution. Customer is one, and the customer has multiple users. It can be borrowers, it could be account holders, it could be anybody who has access to the application. It could be investors, anybody. That's what is called a product. Product basically, so I mean, all these years in the last, I think 20 or 25 years, people got used to using products, right? So when the products were very robust and they were serving well, people were very happy. Users were happy and businesses were happy, and businesses were making more money. But thing is, that has come to the end of it right now. Right now, the model which is being talked about is digital platform. This digital platform engineering is bringing a big time revolution in the way it offers solutions to the multiple customers, right? So the difference between the product and a platform is that a product serves the needs of one customer. In the previous example, Axis Bank app. Whereas multiple customers means there could be multiple people using the same product. Then it is called platform, right? For example, you take one simple example of Amazon. You can go, anybody can go and offer anything, any brand. If you want to buy a TV, there are different suppliers present on the platform, and you can choose which customer from which supplier you can buy the product. That is called multiple customers are there. So there is a big paradigm shift in the way the applications are architected, designed, and built. Basically, any platform offers multiple vendor services to the multiple vendors and multiple customers. The relationship is that suppliers are many and customers are many. So that is what is called a digital platform. And today, without our knowledge, we are using many platforms that are there in the market. And we got used to it. And today, if the business has to flourish, basically what the business has to do, business has to make sure that they build their own platform or they move on to a platform which is already available. If you want to do, if you want to, for example, if you are a supplier of electronic goods, if you want to cater to your locality, say for example, Bangalore or Chennai, you open a shop, big shop, very big shop. Whereas if you want to cater to the needs of the entire India market, then you move on to a digital platform. It could be Flipkart, it could be Amazon, or it could be anything, right? So that way you are increasing your business. When you are increasing business, more and more customers are happy because they are getting quality product, on-time delivery, and there is a trust that is built by the platform between the users and the suppliers. And also, the platform is getting benefited because if the quantity of the transactions is increasing on the platform is also getting benefited. They are making big time money. Who are all the people so that are adopting the platform model? In the US and Europe, if you take 7 out of 10 top enterprises have platform-based models. It is no longer a product-based model. 60% of the enterprises globally will have or will be implementing a digital platform as a business strategy. And many of the companies have already started achieving big-time success. And they are the top performers when it comes to platform thinking. And the user's experience is altogether entirely different today. And this has started disrupting the entire business model. For example, if you go back to some 8 or 9 years, if you go to a city, say for example, from Bangalore to Hyderabad, you go there, you don't know anybody, you have to hire a taxi. What do? Go to the taxi stand and hire a taxi. And you don't know the location, you are new, you don't know the city. Then how are you going to handle the situation? And the taxi guy quotes something, and you don't know whether it is right or not. You always feel that it is on higher side. And the taxi guy feels that he is giving a lot of discount, or he feels it is fair price. But today, with the advent of Uber into the world, it has completely transformed the business model. And Uber is one company which doesn't own any cab. And what they are in? They are in the business of providing transport services to the users. There are so many users so that are already registered on Uber, and there are many cab owners who have registered their cabs on the application. And the user simply picks up the cab, so that is the earliest available, and obviously his fare is fixed. There is some reliability in the fare, and you know in which route you are going through a GPS system. So this is what is happening today. And you know, today in most of the metro cities, the traditional taxi models and auto models got big time impacted because of the most innovative model that has been brought in by Uber through their platform, right? And they offer multiple services, what kind of cab you want, so, and all these things. And customers are very happy, and the prices are affordable, and you don't need to bargain anymore. This is the revolution that has been brought about. This is one of the examples. There are many. This is one of the examples that has been brought about in the market of India through the transport aggregators like Uber, Ola, etc. There could be other players as well. So this is what is today transforming the way users are experiencing better quality of service. Some of the platforms, these are quite the names which you guys already know. Social media platforms are Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. All these are quite famous. So what do? They bring all the users together, and they run their own business. Facebook runs its own business through the ads. They make a lot of money. Twitter is all for celebrities. Instagram, they have captured the market of the entire youth. And I think Facebook has about 3.6 billion users across the world. And when it comes to service-oriented platforms, Uber is quite famous. Anyway, we have already discussed it. And Airbnb. Airbnb is a platform which provides the places to stay for a short stay, like vacation and all. So that model has been hugely successful across the world. And they have presence in India also. Many of you guys may be knowing about it. Grubhub. Grubhub is basically like in the US, they are food delivery service. As we have Swiggy, Zomato, all these platforms, right? And we have knowledge platforms like Stack Overflow, Quora, etc. Stack Overflow is for technology people who can basically share their code, which they write for specific cases. Quora is for normally knowledge, general knowledge sharing. And of course, the most popular media sharing platforms are YouTube for audios and videos, and knowledge, basically content. Content is the king in the YouTube, and you can find all kinds of information. So on the YouTube. Spotify is a music app, Vimeo for videos. These are the media sharing platforms. When it comes to business, ERPs like SAP, they are also called platforms. ERP earlier used to be a product which individual customers can use when it is installed in their data center. Today it is no longer. So they have gone to cloud, and multiple organizations, multiple enterprises can use the SAP ERP. In fact, I think recently, some 3-4 years back, I heard that SAP has started a new service called Ganga in India, which can be used by normal small grocery shop owners, which are called mom and pop kind of shops, general kirana stores. And so they can do the business using that application. And so that interface, and it is very, very cheap and affordable. They can maintain their inventory, and they can do their billing, they can do their invoicing, they can interact with their suppliers. So something like that. And it was quite affordable. Similarly, CRM applications, customer relationship management applications like Salesforce, they are quite famous, right? Email, the Gmail which we are using is a big platform. And we have a lot of banking platforms. Currently, I am leading a banking platform in Encora, which basically services the loans that are originated by financial services companies in the US. And on the platform, multiple banks can sit, meaning that the platforms services can be used by multiple banks or financial institutions, and their borrowers can interact with the banks through the service. Whatever interface that is provided in terms of web-based interface or in terms of a mobile app, so they can do all kinds of things. And actually, Encora has that kind of multiple platforms being utilized, being made available to the financial institutions in the United States, so that they are getting benefited and they are getting excellent service, which has never been heard of so far. And we take pride in that, right? So the world is changing in a big way in enterprise level platforms as well. Enterprise level platforms will not be as popular as Facebook or Twitter or Instagram outside, but they are transforming the businesses and bringing about a big revolution in the way banks or other financial institutions or other enterprises do their business. Okay. So definition of digital transformation. Digital transformation basically is the use of new, fast, and frequently changing technology to solve business problems. And there are many, many small and medium-sized businesses which cannot invest big time in technology and then go on upgrading, right? And the answer lies in using the digital platforms. So the core of the digital platform is basically, on one side, there are producers of the goods, and on the other side, there are consumers of the goods. And the platform basically provides a forum where consumers can directly talk to the producers and do their own transactions. They can buy the goods or services they like based on the product that is being offered by the producer. And there is huge value creation by the organization which provides platform to the consumers as well as producers, and they make money in the process of it. It's okay. That's a business model, right? So this is what is called a platform or a digital platform. This kind of platforms can also be outside digital world. That's the reason why I'm calling it as digital platform. But outside also you can see that kind of business. Earlier businesses were simply like, it's like a pipe. You have a supplier, you buy some goods and services and then make them available to the customer. Simple. Today the process is that in the platform, we bring all the people together, the producers as well as consumers, and we make the services available to them. And they are happy, they are making their own transactions. And if the consumers are happy, obviously the business is going to increase for platform. And more producers will also join the platform. If more producers join the platform, then there is a variety in the service or the product, and automatically consumers are also going to increase. So that way the platforms are getting benefited, creating huge value. So we'll discuss about a small model. So that is adopted by LinkedIn. 12 years back or so, even I was not aware of what LinkedIn was. Initially, what did the LinkedIn do? They brought all the professionals together. And they said, you guys get connected. It was a big network. And 12 years back, when I joined LinkedIn, I was very happy to see the people who were my colleagues about 10 years back, or 8 years back. They are not in touch with me. Now, suddenly we see my entire contact list is full of all the colleagues I know and I worked with, but now they are not, they are no longer with me. And it was a very good platform. We can do messaging and we can chat, we can exchange phone number, mobile numbers if they have changed. So LinkedIn, initially what they did, they brought all the professionals together. Next, what they did, when there is a very big pool of professionals, millions of professionals on the platform, they brought the recruiters onto the platform. Recruiters basically, what they do, they hire some people among the professionals. So the job seekers had a very good opportunity of searching for jobs, and recruiters had a very good opportunity of finding the right professionals on the LinkedIn. So it was a fantastic opportunity, never heard before. But still, what LinkedIn thought is that still it is boring. How much time do the professionals spend on LinkedIn compared to Facebook and Twitter? It is very, very less. When we see the modern people, all the youngsters spending a lot of time on platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn had less traffic. Then what they did, and LinkedIn is serious. LinkedIn is not time pass, right? So what they did, they brought many publishers of the knowledge. And there was a pool of readers. So they brought the publishers and the readers together onto their platform, and their business started booming like anything. I mean, this is a simple example what a platform can do to the people who are educated, who are professionals, who are in employment. If they want, they can enhance their knowledge. A lot of content is available on LinkedIn. not just recruiters. Today, recruitment is one part of the business which LinkedIn offers. It's a whole lot of services that are being made available. In addition to that, for more revenue, they started some monetization also, like um, premium account and all these things. That's part of their business model. But overall, LinkedIn is a very big example of success of a digital platform. So that has come in the last 10 to 12 years and made available. And people across the globe, across the world, I mean, entire world, they are all today on LinkedIn. If you want to build a platform, what do? First of all, you should be clear about your business. What is your vision? What does my business want to do in the next 5 years or 10 years? Or perhaps why I have to do business? Why should my business exist? The reason for existence and the big picture of the vision. And what are my capabilities? What is the business I am to be in? So that is one part, which is part of goals and budget. First step is goals. What is your goal and what is the budget? And you must have multi-year budget. Multi-year. And a platform cannot be built in a few months. It takes years together to build a platform and go on enhancing it. And there should be some sequence of goals. What am I going to do? What am I going to achieve in the next 6 months? What am I going to achieve in the later part of the year? And what is the plan for next year? So there should be very clear plan, or if not a detailed plan, goals for each year. And next thing is engage the service provider. Who is going to provide the service to me? Am I going to build my entire platform, or am I going to give it to some technology company? What kind of software I would like to use? Who is going to provide the expertise to me? So based on that, the organization has to assemble the team. Assemble the team and create an organization. What are all the teams I need to have? I need to have a development team. I need to have a testing team. I need to have a release team. I need to have a marketing team. I need to have a sales team. And I need to have a customer support team, etc., etc. Who is going to add this technology? Who is going to be the CTO of the company? So the entire organization has to be created. So this is part of assembling the team. And what are the skills that are required for me to build the platform? Okay, which part I would like to develop and how I am going to develop, which part I am going to involve other parties to build the team for me. So that is the step number 2. Now, once that is done, you select your technologies. What are the technologies in which I am going to build my team, build my application platform, right? So am I going to develop the application in Java? Am I going to, are the allied technologies? Am I going to use Microsoft technologies? So these are the questions which need to be asked and decisions need to be made regarding the technologies. Am I going to host the application in my own data center, or am I going to host it on some kind of famous cloud platform like Amazon Web Services, Azure, IBM's cloud called Z Cloud? Where am I going to host it? And how is it going to be available to the customers 24/7? And second thing is API and integration strategy. So today's applications are not monolithic applications. So it's all entirely, the picture has changed in the last 6 to 7 years. Everything today is provided by APIs, application interfaces, through some kind of services. And all the services are integrated. Many times, for example, if you build an application, if a user has to log in, he has to type his user ID and key in his password and enter. So inside, behind the screen, what typically happens is there is a service that is called, which basically takes the user ID and password, goes back to the database, checks and validates, and if it is true, it comes back and allows the user to log into the application. Otherwise, it will provide an error message. That is API. And similarly, there are many services which are provided as a specific service. So what kind of strategy needs to be adopted in terms of APIs? So actually it is APIs. Nowadays, the microservices have become popular. So none of the front ends today directly, application front ends directly talk to the database. There are multiple layers of the services through which the data passes through, and either it reaches as a transaction to the database, or it brings back the data and shows it to the customer as required based on the need and based on the functionality. So this is very important when we are developing a platform. So, and if you want to develop a world-class platform, you cannot do that in a single go. You have to take an iterative and incremental approach. Iterative means every 2 months I will go on enhancing. There are layers built, and overall the functionality becomes very big. And the organization which builds the platform has to define what is their MVP. MVP means minimum viable product. Meaning that what is the minimum functionality I need for my application to make sure that it is up and running and some people start using it. Then I can go on building all other functionalities around the MVP. Then comes the scaling and expanding. Go on adding users, go on adding customers, go on adding suppliers, and go on expanding. So these are the basically 4 stages through which the building of any platform goes through. And this takes a long time. And this is a very complex work, involves a lot of architects, a lot of designers, huge number of developers, testers, and business users, the people, business analysts who build, who create the features, and they give the features information to the developers so that the applications features are built. And overall, after some time, so the application takes the form of a full-fledged digital platform. Okay. And other thing is, what is the infrastructure you need? What kind of network you need? This is also important. It is not just enough to build an application. It's also basically the infrastructure that is required. That thing needs to plan. Internet is the backbone of any business. What kind of internet? What kind of connectivity you are going to have? And how fast it should be? And how robust it should be? Is any backup plan required if one internet servicer provides provides a service, and suddenly if that guy goes down, who else is going to support? Because the business has to go uninterrupted. What kind of broadband is required? What kind of mobile, telecom, digital communication suites that are required, including small applications which provide the necessary support at the back end? And what kind of networks need to be chosen? And what kind of data centers are required? Many times, actually, this kind of infrastructure is also being supported by some of the players. For example, SaaS. SaaS means software as a service. So there are several providers in the market like Google Workspace, Dropbox, Salesforce also, of course, CRM application. Straight away, you can configure your business on Salesforce and you can go on working on that and do your own business and manage your sales. Cisco WebEx for interacting with different stakeholders. Concur, GoToMeeting. These are some of the service providers at the infrastructure level, not in at the bottom level. below your application layer. There are other providers like AWS. AWS today is one of the most popular cloud services provider in the world, and very closely being followed by Azure, the cloud service that is being provided by Microsoft. And Google service Google Cloud is also very famous. And Z Cloud of IBM is also moving forward in terms of capturing the market. So nowadays it is not required for the businesses to have their own data centers, and the services that are provided by all the AWS, Azure, Google and all, they are quite affordable, and the applications can be hosted in your own region. Many of these providers have their own data centers and then regions in India, in the US and in the European market as well. So based on your business model, based on the availability of your suppliers, presence of your suppliers and presence of your customers, you can choose any of these services so that your platforms are very reliable and they are resilient. Resilience means even if some disaster happens, still the service is provided uninterrupted by these service providers of cloud. Okay, so actually COVID, which has visited the world during 2020, has completely changed the behavior of the customers. People who earlier used to go to the local grocery store or Kirana store, they stopped going because there were a lot of lockdowns and they were also scared of getting the virus, and they started going to online platform. Today, if you take an average young man in any of the metro cities in India, they don't go to grocery stores. So they are buying their grocery stores through applications like Big Basket, etc. There are many players. Similarly, many of the people stopped buying even vegetables by going to the stores. Now it has slightly increased as the COVID receded, but still there are many people who prefer ordering their vegetables, weekly vegetables on the platforms. People's habits have undergone tremendous change since 2020 starting. Employee experience has become key theme in the HR community. All the software professionals started working from home. Initially, it was very difficult. Now, actually, people got used to it. Interviews have been happening. Business has been running as usual. And employees are sitting in the comfort of their home. They are expecting best-in-class consumer-grade technology and the very, very small budgets. So this is the expectation of the employee. Today, in fact, the biggest challenge for all the IT service providers and other companies in the IT market is that how do I bring my employees to the office as quickly as possible and without losing them? And many of the people who are earlier living in big cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, they have gone back to their hometowns and they have started working them and they are making a lot of savings. Now, the bigger challenge today is that how do the companies bring them back to office as required, or can they continue with some kind of hybrid model? That is a current debate that is happening within IT industry. I think most of you are aware of that. And again, I covered groceries from the local store, usage of online shopping, Flipkart, so Amazon, business increased multifold during the Corona season. And people who earlier used to go to theaters stopped going to theaters, and OTT platforms, it's not OTP, it is OTT. OTT platforms, online streaming platforms have become quite famous, and people started enjoying their movies sitting at their home, and they have big TV screens and all nowadays, and through Amazon Prime, Netflix or whatnot, there are several Indian players as well. So, and actually now the film industry's biggest challenge is that people who got used to the OTT platform are not easily going to the theaters unless the movie is like a very big blockbuster, all India kind of hit or something like that. Many of the people say, okay, today it is in theater, after 30 days, it is going to be up in some or other OTT. I'm going to enjoy the movie sitting in the comfort of my home. So the entire cine movie goers business has completely changed because of the platform. That's also platform. And how many have we seen? How many people have we seen in the recent months who are going to the nearby bank branches? Nobody nowadays goes to any branch of a bank. People are preferring online banking. Their mobile apps have come, our online banking has come. Nobody goes to the bank any longer, right? So this is a big change that has happened. And the biggest revolution that has happened in India is cashless digital transactions. During COVID time, it is increased. Actually, after demonetization, people started using the all the payment apps that are available, whether it is Paytm, whether it is PhonePe, Bheem, Google Pay. A lot of players are there. And the biggest achievement of India is basically making the UPI platform available to all the service providers, the payment service providers. That has revolutionized the way the businesses are done. And if you go to a small business on the roadside, like for example, if you want to buy some coconut water, so that they also has a digital QR code that is available on the cart on which the coconuts are lying. Today, that is the kind of a revolution that has taken place thanks to the UPI platform, which enabled, and I think India is a world leader today, one of the top countries which does the digital transactions because of the UPI digital platform. So these are the kind of things that are happening around us. We need to take note of them. And going forward, as engineers and as technologists, if we get an opportunity to work on building of any of the digital platforms, then our life is fulfilled, right? At the end of the day, what is an engineer's ambition? To be part of building a technology that will change the world. Innovation is happening very fast. People's habits are changing, businesses are changing. In the process, everything, the world is changing, right? So the current landscape basically is that platforms and their ecosystems are now part of our daily lives. They are redefining the way we work, we learn. In fact, during COVID time, most of the kids were sitting at home and they were learning. Right? There were some problems, of course, but thing is that was happening, which was unheard of in a country like India. So these platforms are redefining the way we are innovating and we are collaborating, and this is fast changing. The most valuable public companies and its first $1 trillion businesses are built on digital platforms, bringing together market actors, suppliers, consumers through their network. Top ranked companies in the US by market capitalization like Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Google's parent company is called Alphabet, and Amazon. So they are moving forward in terms of the innovation of the technology. And Facebook, Alibaba, Tencent, these kind of companies are also not far behind. They are quickly catching up. As of January 2020, these 7 companies, the top mentioned, whatever, from Apple to Tencent, these 7 companies represented more than 6.3 billion market value, and all of them are in the platform business. Guys, this is what is platform business today doing. And I am happy to be part of the platform building, maintaining, and supporting in the last few years, maybe I think over a decade. And I think being enthusiasts and being young people, I think you will also get a chance to work on platforms which are transforming the lives of the people across the world in a very, very big way. So with that, we come to the conclusion of this session. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. If you have enjoyed it, please like and please give your comments. And if you have any questions, please reach out to the people concerned, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Thank you very much.